Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lilyhuha. If you're a subscriber, karibu, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch my content. So today's video is going to be a bit. I don't want to call it a story time really, because this is not a story. Okay, it is a story, but I don't want to call it a story. It goes out to anyone who is battling lung cancer or knows anyone who is battling lung cancer or has been directly or indirectly affected by anyone battling lung cancer. So I'm planning on releasing this video on 1st November because that is when it's the National Lung Cancer Awareness Day. And being a person who has been directly or indirectly affected by it, I chose to do a video about it. And this really from the deepest part of my heart goes to anyone out there who is battling lung cancer directly or indirectly. So let's get started. This video is basically gonna be me telling you how I lost my mom. I lost my mom to lung cancer in 2019. So this video is going to be a bit emotional. So you'll have to bear with me. So I was in Form 2 when my mom was diagnosed with lung cancer. And I remember this one time nilikuwa nimetoka shule. In Form 2 nimetoka shule. My dad was supposed to come for me in school, but he sent a neighbor of mine anikujie shule. Like, we used to school in the same class with my daughter, so I was to go home with them. And at first I did not find it suspicious or anything because I thought maybe my dad was just busy. So I went home at around 8-9. My dad sasa akanikujia, tukaenda home. And then it was suspicious because normally it would be my mom at the front seat, yeah? But this particular time it wasn't my mom, it was my neighbor. And I'm like, okay, so where's my mom? And my dad told me, acha tufike kwa nyumba and I'll tell you. Wow, my heart skipped a fucking beat, guys. I was like, okay, you either tell me where my mom is sahi or you tell me where my mom is sahi. So funny thing, I was scared, yes, but still my instincts were telling me, it's nothing serious, So tukafika home, I showered and everything, and then I went to my dad and he told me he wanted to know where your mom is, and I said yes. So he told me that my mom got sick and that she'd been taken to a hospital and transferred to another one where she was admitted. I was like, okay. That was everything that term, yeah, Form 2, if I'm not sure. Either that term or my second term. So, the next day, my dad asked to accompany him to hospital where my mom was. And of course, I was okay with that because I really needed to see my mom. So my mom had been admitted in Karen Hospital. And I went there and I found her. She was okay and everything. She just had some minor, I don't know if they were minor really, but she just had some lung complications. So that was in Form 2. So I remember in December, my mom had an appointment with the doctor at Karen Hospital. And I remember this very day like it just happened yesterday. So she left home with my dad to go to hospital, and she asked her chauffeur to take me to my aunt's graduation that my aunt did not want me to miss. And so I went, and then of course like June I expect to see my mom, which I did not. So me, I'm like, Kuni, where is my mom? So later on I'm told that my mom was admitted again. And this time I really felt bad because now I could see that the situation was getting real serious and that my mom was getting sick and it was really affecting me. So I remember that December, normally Christmas we spend with my family like we go out to for vacations, I mean, and all that. But this particular time I spent at my aunt's place because they also went for vacation, so I went for vacation with them. And I remember after the vacation, my aunt called me. Then she told me, Ati, I want you to take this news. You know the way wanakujia like, huh? It's like something wanashindwa watakwambia aje. So she came to me and told me, I want to tell you something and I want you to take this news the best way you can. Be calm, be what, and I was like, just cut to the chase and tell me what the hell you want to tell me. So she told me that the very moment my mom was admitted at Karen Hospital, she was these things the doctors do. Walifanya test, they found a tumor in her lung, and there were tests to be done to confirm if this tumor was cancerous or not cancerous. So my aunt told me that the test results came out and that her tumor was cancerous. I was like, fuck. I knew there and then that my life was about to take a complete turn, because now I knew that my mom had been diagnosed with lung cancer. I'm not pretty sure what stage it was. I don't remember. Ama nimisi kuambiwa sijui, but so she told me that nikienda home, I act cool, I act calm, I act collected, so that it doesn't affect my mom to see that her situation is affecting me. And I did that actually. Like, it was so easy masking my feelings, because honestly I was really hurt, but I could not show my mom because ningemwonyesha pe ingemuumiza. So I had to be strong for her. Like, we all had to be strong for her. It's not like we had a choice. So that was Form 2. So mi nikajua my mom had lung cancer. I went back to school in Form 3. I tell you guys, Form 3 was such a hectic year for me. Guy, this was 2018. I remember in my very first video I told you guys that everything that could go wrong in 2018 seriously went wrong. So I had these few close friends in high school. I went to them and told them, guys, so it is like this. My mom has lung cancer, blah 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 blah. Nisaidieni, because sometimes I felt like I was really losing it. You know, when you know someone has lung cancer and this is someone you're close to, and you hear what cancer does to people, I was like, wow. It was hectic. So I called my friends and I told them to help me even pray, and when he said, yeah, just, you know, to be strong and all that. And they did. I actually got I think 2 of my friends, and allowed me to mention them in this video. One was called Cynthia, my high school best friend, and the other one, Masi Mugo. I mean, these girls really, came through for me in all ways they could. Like, they supported me, and I told them to not tell anyone, and they did not. When I tell you guys that people from my class knew that my mom had lung cancer the moment she died, it really is like that. Like, watu hawakuwa wanajua, because I used to mask it so much, and I used to mask it so well that really nobody could tell what I was going through. Like, in school, I was this social person. Everybody wanted to talk to me. I was talking to everyone. I mean, nobody could really tell what was going on, but at the back of my head, I knew indirectly I was battling lung cancer, because, you know, my mom was battling it, so I'm battling it too anyway. So Form 3, my mom underwent a couple of medications. Zinaitwa nini? Chemo, yes. She underwent a couple of chemotherapy sessions, and she was in and out of the country for, you know, to go to India for treatment. And she was actually doing really well. Really well. So it continued for the rest of Form 3, my mom being in and out of the country. Form 4, pia the same. So in Form 4, this is where things got really bad, or this is where everything escalated. So I remember in January 2019, my mom was supposed to fly out of the country with my dad to go to India for her medication. And so I remember calling her through the school's phone, and I told her, oh, Jenny masses and all that, like, all that excitement that you're talking to your mom and that she's going to get treatment and all that. So she went to India and got her medication, and then in February she landed. It was in when was it? 21st. Was it? Yes. Was it? Yes. Was it 21st though? Actually, yes. She landed in the country on 21st of 21st of February, sorry. She landed in the country on 21st of February. And I remember my cousin and I were chilling, and then it was my friend's birthday, and my friend invited me for her birthday, but I couldn't go because my cousin had kujad. And so, no. I remember. No, wait, hold up. I've remembered. It was on 22nd February that they came. Because remember the previous 21st, my cousin and I had linked up, and the next day we linked up again, coincidentally at the airport, because his dad alikuwa among the people that had gone for my mom in the airport. So my mom and dad landed on 22nd of February, and they went home, but my cousins and I went to celebrate my cousin's birthday in Karen. So I went home on the 24th of February, and that is when I met my mom after I landed from India. That is the very day I got this chain. See this chain right here? I don't know if kwa hii picha iko hapa nyuma, that is my mom right there. She has worn this exact chain. And I remember nilipewa hii chain nimpeleke, and then I said, nah, I want it. So I went and told my mom, nimepewa chain nikulete, lakini inakaa vizuri, acha nichukue. So I wore it on 24th. I wore it on 24th of February 2019. Until date, haijawahi toka. Like, it has been on my neck ever since. Like, sitwangi ever. Haya. So that was February. March, April, she was in Kenya, still undergoing treatment, of course. Then I also went back to school, definitely, because I was in Form 4. I couldn't miss school for anything. So she continued fighting, she continued battling it. On this, when was it? In July, was it? I think around June, July, ilikuwa second term. I remember my deputy called me. Like, people in my school used to say that the deputy was my aunt, but she really wasn't. So my deputy called me and told me, you needed at home tomorrow, and we were breaking for midterm. Yes, we were breaking for midterm and second term. And then the deputy called me and told me you needed at home very early in the morning because your mom is flying outside the country to India for her medication. And I was like, okay. So I went home very, very early. Actually, I remember the very moment we were released, nilifika home, I think around 10, which was so unlike me because normally nilikuwa nafika home jioni. But this very day, because I did not want to miss my mom going flying out, I got home at 10. And then it happened that her flight had been postponed to the next day, and I was like, fuchs. So we stayed with mom your day, and I remember showing her my results. I remember this A exam, I had a C plus, and I was feeling really bad because to me nilikuwa nimefail. But I remember my mom telling me, no, you really did your best, so blah blah. And I was like, So yeah, that was in your midterm, your second term. So she flew out the country the next day. So I went back to school wakiwa India bado. So they came back in August. No, was it? Yeah, they came back in August, if I'm not so wrong. August or July. Actually August, because I remember again I was in school And then my deputy again akaniita. You know, I was a dining hall captain, so anytime she would call me, I would automatically think she's calling me about the dining hall. So this very day she called me and told me, your mom wants to talk to, and I'm like, my mom wants to talk to me? Who is she? So she gave me her phone. I talked with my aunt first, and then my aunt told me, oh, your mom landed, oh, she's okay, blah blah. I was like, yes. I was so fucking happy. So I talked with my mom. Okay, I remember I cried. Nilililia kwa hiyo office ya deputy because I could not believe I was talking to my mom your time. So we talked. She told me she's back and she misses me and all that lovey-dovey. I was like, like, yeah, I miss you too, and I can't wait to come home because tulikuwa tunaenda home the next day because the next day was prayers day. So she told me she wasn't gonna make it for prayers day, but nikienda home nitampata. I was like, yeah, that's okay, it's totally okay. So on your prayers day, I remember after that call nilienda class nikicheka. I was like so excited, so happy. I told my two friends who knew what was happening, niliwaambia, you guys listen, my mom has landed, my mom is in the country, my mom is doing okay. So the next day was prayers day. I was so excited to go home. So I remember my sister, my brother-in-law, my dad, and my cousin. So walinikujia hiyo prayers day, I was like so excited, you know, to go home and see my mom. So I remember we stopped over at some place, we had food. I called my mom, I talked to her, I told her, Mom, I'm coming, nakuja. So at this time she was at my sister's place. So we all went to my sister's place, and I remember the very, like, nilifunga tu hivi mlango and my mom was seated right there. Nilienda ka nimemhug, like I didn't care if I had bags or not. Nilienda tu kama nimemhug. I was so fucking happy to fucking see her again. So ikafika place, my sister started even complaining ati nimekaa kwa kiti sana, hata sijasalimia watu, sija change nguo. I'm like, I've not seen my mom for so long, so don't tell me to change my clothes or anything. I want to stay here with my mom. I remember she had sat on a one-seater, and niliendapo nikajisqueeze hapo penye alikuwa. So you know that feeling you get when you see someone you haven't seen for a long time, ama someone you're really praying for to be okay, and then you see them and you're like, yes. That is the exact feeling I had. So I went, actually like stayed there with my mom the whole night until the next day. Najisikia nilipata my mom alienda kulala, ama ilikuwaje? I think alienda kulala because she like couldn't stay on the seat all night long. So August yote, this is August 2019, I happened to be at my sister's place the whole time. So I was like taking care of her because my sister alikuwa anaenda job and so was her hubby. So basically I was the one taking care of mom, like making sure she takes her meds, making sure she eats, making sure she does everything she's supposed to be doing. And I was like so fucking happy to be there with her. Like, since she's actually getting better was making me feel, yes. People were coming to visit her and giving us a reassurance. Oh, you know she'll get better. Oh, you know she's a fighter. Oh, you know she's strong. And I was like, yes, I know she's gonna go get through it. I know she's gonna make it. So the whole of August tulikuwa na yeye. So I remember we were going back to school on 3rd of September, which was on a Tuesday. I will never forget this day. So 3rd of September was on a Tuesday. This is where the story begins 18 minutes later. So it was on a Tuesday, yeah? I remember sikuwa nimefanya assignment ya maths, sikuwa nimemaliza rather. And so I woke up very early to like finish this assignment, which vile tulifika shule haikuangaliwa. I was like, what a waste of my energy. So nilifanya hii assignment and then got dressed really quickly because I was getting late. My brother was supposed to take me to school and he had already arrived, and so I did not want to keep him. sikuwa nataka kumweka, what the translation, sikuwa nataka kumweka. So my brother came. This that September is apparently the worst day of my life, because this was the last day I saw my mom alive. And it hurts me every fucking single day to think about this day. Anyway, so my brother came. We were supposed to pass by hospital and take juice to an uncle of ours who was recovering in hospital. Like, he was to get discharged, I think, the next day or something. So we passed by the hospital to get juice. I mean, to take juice for him. So my brother alikuja kwa sistangu that early. He made juice. Ama ni sistangu alitengeneza, I cannot remember. But there was juice that we were supposed to take to my uncle in hospital because he was being discharged the next day. So it was around, I think, 11. I think it was around 11 something. I realized I was getting late. And so I went and hugged my mom. And we took a selfie. Because every time I had some Huawei. Was it? Yeah, I had a Huawei I was using. So I remember my mom telling me that we haven't taken a selfie in a long time. And I was like, yeah, we haven't. So we took selfies. And then nikiziangalia nikaona zikai vizuri, nika-delete. When I tell you guys, I regret deleting those pictures hadi wa leo. Wow. Because those are like the last pictures I could have had of my mom, but I deleted them in the name of sikai vizuri. So we hugged with my mom. She promised to come get me when I was done with my KCSE. You know, she was telling me, oh, sijui will come with a motorcade, you know, tutakuja shule ya watu wengi. She used to say tutakuja shule ya watu wengi and all of that. So I was like, yeah, I was so excited to go back to school. And I asked her, I remember asking her what grade she wanted me to bring home. And she told me the grade I wanted to bring home. And I mean, she told me the grade she wanted me to bring home. And I told her I was gonna go get that. Like, trust, I was gonna go get that. So like, I went to school really, really, really psyched to get my mom the grade she wanted, because I really wanted to make her proud, yeah. So I remember tulitoka kwa nyumba na brother wangu, like after my last, actually this was the very last hug mom and I ever had. So tulitoka kwa nyumba na brother wangu, and then when you're like tumetoka nje gate kidogo, he has driven kidogo, we realized hatujabeba ile juice. So he told me to go back or it. So he drove back to the gate, and sasa mimi ndo nilipanda kwenda hiyo juice. And I remember like nilienda nikafungua mlango, and then nikaingia kitchen, nikachukua juice, and then nikitoka I accidentally banged the door. And then I was like, oops, sorry, and then ran back because I was late for school and I knew we had to pass by somewhere. So I was like, oops, sorry. So I ran. If I knew that that was the last time I would be seeing my mom, I swear ningerudi kwenye alikuwa and like talk to her or something. I'ma like hug her another time. I don't know. So I accidentally banged the door and left because I was late for school. So when I think about this situation, sometimes I tell myself, maybe God was giving me another chance to like see her again. A last chance to like talk to her, but what did they do? I banged the fucking door. Anyway, also this day, my mom told me nikifika shule nimwambie. And I was like, yeah, okay. So fast forward, tulienda tukapelekea uncle yangu dawa, I mean juice. My brother nikafika shule, akanifikisha shule. And then after like the opening assembly ya shule, I went to the deputy and told her, Chiki, my mom told me nimwambie nikifika shule. And then she said, okay, I will tell her, because like she had her number. And I said, okay. So the next day she came and told me that she told my dad, because she couldn't get my mom on phone. She called my dad to tell him that nimefika. And I want to believe my dad told my mom, yeah. So this was on Tuesday, 3rd September. On Saturday, on the Saturday 7th of September, in our school there used to be this like we can call home na simu za journalism. So mimi, I remember this day I wanted to call my mom, but there was such a big line, so nikasema sitamcall hiyo siku. So I remember walking kwa ilikuwa inaitwa Government Road. So napitia Government Road and then I saw a friend of mine making a call. And I told her, I remember shouting and telling her, usalimie mamangu. And she was like, okay. Like, fuck. This girl was called Chepkirui. I don't know where Chepkirui went after high school, but I remember telling Chepkirui, ukipiga simu yako, pia piga yangu, usalimie mamangu. And little did I know that on this 7th is when my mom was being rushed to hospital as an emergency because she had suddenly started losing breath. So she had been rushed to hospital. And I usually have a feeling that hii moment nilikuwa naambia Chepkirui to say hi to my mom, it must have been the time kulikuwa na all that collision back at home and I did not know anything about it. So the next day was on Sunday. Sunday, I remember a friend of mine telling me that niko dull. So Sunday is 8th September and this is the very day that my mom passed. And on this day also, phones were being made, and I also remember telling Chepkirui again to say hi to my mom. It was around 4 p.m. and trust me, from what I was told, my mom died at around 4 p.m. on Sunday. So on Sunday, a friend of mine was telling me, oh, niko dull. Usually, I'm not usually like this, but Mimi, you know that feeling you get, yeah, something is wrong. I honestly did not have it. Like, my instincts were usually so right. Like, I believe my instincts sana. But this one time, my instincts failed me big time. Because sikuwa na feel like if anything was wrong. So Sunday went on. Monday, 9th September, my mom had already passed. I knew nothing about it. So apparently, nilikujua shule Tuesday 10th of September. Is it? Yes. Nilikujua shule 10th of September. That was on Tuesday. Like tumefungua shule 3rd and then sasa hii Tuesday, that was on a Tuesday. And so now the other Tuesday nimekujiwa tena. So, in our school there was this guy alikuwa anaitwa Bad News. Bad News was bad news. Like anytime you could see him, jua tu amekuja kuleta bad information. So this particular time, I remember I was reading for a chemistry cut. Yeah, sulfur. Remember this unit that was called unit? Hii topic ilikuwa sulfur and its compounds or something like that. So nilikuwa nasomea cut ya hiyo sulfur. Remember nikatoka nje, nikarudi class. Vile tu nimerudi, huyu Bad News akaingia class. Kuingia class, alikuwa anaingia na kanoti hivi. And so, akapatia mwenye alikuwa anakaa hapo mbele. This girl was called QC. So akapea QC paper. And QC akaangalia nyuma and she said, lilyhuha for W. And everybody went silent. Because like we knew, say like Bad News akikuja, it's either anakuja kusema, anakukujia cause someone of yours has died, ama kitu tu mbaya, but mostly ilikuwa kama mtu amepass and you needed in the guidance and counseling office, Bad News ndo atatumwa. So it's like, me? You calling me? And you calling me? QC akasema tena lilyhuha. And I was like, okay. So nilikuwa nimetoa hadi socks, nimetoa hadi viatu, so nilivaa tu viatu. The whole class went silent because they knew this was not good. So the whole class went silent. Alafu, I remember telling my homie, like, this girl that niliwambia nilienda kwao ile siku kujiwa shule. So I remember telling her, Chiki, I'm going to that guidance and counseling office and I am going with you. Just siendi peke yangu. And then akasema sawa. So tuko hapo nje ya class, I'm telling her, alikuwa anaitwa Joy. So I'm telling Joy, listen, like you and I both know mbona nimeitwa hii place. So cheki, nataka unipeleke hapa tuingie na wewe, and then you'll be the one to confront me throughout this news. So Joy said okay. So Joy is there telling me, oh, acha ku overthink, oh, ata labda si mamako, oh, he was like, Joy, we are not going to pretend that you and I do not know what is going on. So what happened, nilienda akanifikisha hapo guidance and counseling, and then akaona kuna watu ndani, and then she said she'll just wait outside, like hata ka hapo, hata ingia na mimi, that is. So I said okay. I took a deep breath, I breathed in, breathed out, and then nikaingia. Kuingia nikaona my cousin called Mombi. So I found Mombi and who else was there? I found Mombi and some other 2 people that I did not recognize, and someone else. No, actually, yeah, it was Mombi and some 2 other people I did not recognize, and our guidance and counseling teacher. And I'm like, Mombi, sasa, I'm very naive. I don't know why I'm here. Like, hi, how are you doing? And then they were all having smiles on their faces, and I'm like, nothing bad. Maybe wamekuja tu kunitembelea. And because my aunt was a friend with this guidance and counseling teacher, I thought, maybe wamekuja kusalimiana huku, I don't know. So nikaambiwa niketi. Looking at Mombi, Mombi's face is, I knew something is up. I looked at Mombi. I looked at the 2 people I did not know who were seated right in front of me, and I knew there and then that something was definitely up. So this guidance and counseling teacher started with her shenanigans. Oh, lilyhuha. Oh, Okay, funny thing, rewind kidogo. We used to have aerobics in high school. So on this particular day, I was really, really badly affected by the state my mom was in. Haya, so nakumbuka tukikimbia mahali nyuma ya shule, it was like kwa hiyo government road ilikuwa inazunguka shule up to teachers quarters. So mimi nilikuwa mahali karibu na teachers quarters, and then she passed by and saw me crying. And she asked, "Huha, ni nini mbaya?" blah blah blah. So mimi, I got vulnerable and I told her. So the very thing she started when nilifika kwa guidance and counseling office was, "Oh, you remember the talk we had the other day kwa government road?" And I'm like, yeah. She started giving me stories. Alianza kuniambia ati, oh, God has a supermarket. That you can go to the supermarket and pick the things you love. So what. Then she said ati pia Mungu anakuanga na supermarket yake huku chini. And pia yeye anaendanga anapick wale watu anataka na zile vitu anataka. And I'm like, just cut to the chase. Tell me who the hell has died. And then she told, I didn't actually, vile nilianza kusikia ameongea hivyo, nilimwambia tu just tell me. Nikamuuliza, is it my mom? And she kept quiet, and I knew bus. I did not even break down at your point. Siku break down because I was like in denial. I'm like, you're lying. Because the last time I saw my mom, she was okay. So you cannot be telling me this right now. You cannot be telling me this right now. So I looked at Mombi. Mombi is crying. The people in front of me are crying, and I'm like, why are you people crying? Mbona mnalia? Why are you crying? Because my mom is not dead, so quit crying. I want to go back to class. Manacha kulia? Hapana. So anyway, okay. So my aunt was called, like sasa mama Mombi was called. Kumbe she was in school also, na alikuwa amepark gari yake nyuma ya shule so that nisione, because normally visitors used to park their vehicles hapo mbele ya ADM. So she parked na huko nyuma ndo nisione. I was like, okay. So it happened that I was called. She was called. And then she came to the room and she told me, oh, it's okay, blah, 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 blah. At this time, mimi atasili, like I'm in complete denial. Siamini history, So mimi sielewi mbona mko shule na mbona siko class na mbona mnalia. Sielewi. So mimi niliambiwa to just if you have anything you need to pick from the dormitory, and I'll pick, and you tell your desk mate. Like I was told to not go back to class because ningerudi class inge create chaos. So nikaambiwa my desk mate was going to be called, and she would like pick anything of mine that needed to be picked outside. Like nilikuwa na nguo nje, so akaambiwa yeye ndo atachukua blah blah blah. So I went to the dormitory. I told the matron, the matron was told that I needed to get to the dormitory to pick some stuff and maybe change my clothes. So nilienda dorm. Our dorm was a huge hall, and I was in the very last cube. So from the door to the cube, I'm like, I know this can't be happening. I'm still in denial. I cannot believe, like, you know the way you don't want to believe something. I was like that. So I went and picked my stuff. I went to the deputy's office. She gave me food, nikakata. And then she told me to just go home. Nitarudi shule baadaye. So, nikarudi sasa kwa gari ya kina Mombi. And then Mombi, I remember Mombi asking me, ati mbona hauli? So Mombi asked me, mbona hauli? And me, I'm like, what is there to cry about? Me, mamangu hajakufa. My mom is not dead. And then she told me, in case of any questions, nimuulize. So me, I'm there asking her, ati what happened? Ati when? Last tulikuwa na mamangu Tuesday. Amekufa aje, kulienda aje. I'm like, okay. You know the way, like, unaweza ni kama two stories za jaba ananipatia, like sikuwa naamini. So tukaingia kwa gari, and then my aunt drove to some supermarket. Then she told, alafu it started raining. Then tukaingia super, then she told us to pick anything we wanted. So tukapick snacks, and then sasa tukaingia kwa gari. So before we drove home, my aunt told me, so before we go, I want you to understand why you are going home. And I knew, haya, kumbe ni serious. So she started telling me, oh, you know, your mom, fought, blah, blah, blah. So apparently, on this very Sunday that she passed, the doctors in Karen had said that mimi nikujiwe shule. But by the time my aunt lives somewhere near my school. So alikuwa ameambiwa akikuja anichukue shule. But by the time anaambiwa hivyo, like she had already pitted my school na hangerudi. Like alikuwa amepita by far. And I'm like, So the doctor somehow knew that my mom was not gonna make it. So this chile, my aunt akaanza kuniambia, oh, you know, your mom fought. Akaanza kuniexplainia kila kitu, and I broke down. God. Nililia to a point where my head started aching, like seriously. Normally my head doesn't ache, but your time my head was aching, like it was seriously aching. And then vile nilitulia, sasa tukaanza ku drive home. So the moment tunafika home, I see a lot of vehicles, and I'm like, mbona hizi gari mbona hizi gari zote ziko home, like from entrance ya home all the way to our gate, our vehicles. And I'm like, rada. So me, I get to the gate, nilishuka, I found some of my dad's friends wakiwa hapo, and they were looking at me so empathetic, and I'm like, unaangalia nani, simniache. So me nikaingia kwa nyumba. So nikaambiwa ati niliingilia back door. So nikaambiwa ati nisalimia watu downstairs, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to greet anyone. I'm just going to my room. If anybody wants to see me, akuje kwa room yangu. Because you know, I couldn't handle all the sympathy, you know, the empathy, zile macho za huruma. I was like, nah, I cannot take this, not right now. So I went to my room. I took a shower. I cried. Because now, the very moment I saw people, nilijua like, wow, this is it. Like, it's actually happening. So I went to my room. And then my aunts came for me and told me, enda tusalimia watu downstairs. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went downstairs. I found my dad and his friends, and of course my mom's friends walikuwa hapo. And so my dad saw me, and then akasimama and hugged me, and I was like, don't pretend this is not hurtful for you, because it was really, really painful for me. So I went and said hi to everyone else. And then they were looking at me with these eyes, akiwe. And then I remember my dad saying, Ati, huyu ni yako form 4. I'm like, ugh. So everybody's looking at me like, ako form 4, ni that term, mamake amepass. I'm like, oh, it was hectic. So I went back to my room. And all the mashakaya period iliendelea, but mimi I was escaping, like sikuwa nataka kukua home at all, because I know I could not bear seeing people at home. And then that there's this condolence book that is usually written. I was seeing it and then I'm like, so most of the times actually nilikuwa naenda kwa marafiki zangu Juja. So I go to Juja in the morning and come back in the evening until the very day of the burial. Of course, hiyo lazima ningekuwa home. So we buried her on 18th of September, which was on a Wednesday. And I remember telling myself that I will hate Wednesdays and Sundays for the rest of my life, which technically I do. Like till date, I don't like Wednesdays, I don't like Sundays, because they really messed up with my life. Like they really fucked me up. Yeah, so on 18th of 18th of September, which is apparently my mom's birthday. Like she passed on her birthday. So she passed on her birthday, and we buried her on no, her birthday was on 8th September, the very day she died. And then we buried her on 18th September. And the turn up was huge. My mom was a people person, like, you know, she used to associate with people so well. She knew so many people, so the turn up was mad. So yeah, we buried her on 18th. And Akigai, I want to thank my classmates again, because these people really, really came through for me. So I remember they wanted to come for that burial, but they could not, because deputy alisema, oh, it's that term, from fours cannot leave, you know, and all that stuff. So on the day of the burial, after we buried my mom, I don't know, for some reason I wanted to like throw this chain in the shimo, like I ended to nayo, but then I said, this might be the only thing to hold on to, so acha tu nikae nayo. So I remember my deputy, after tumizika mom, my deputy was there, and also some few teachers from school. So she had this envelope with her, and this envelope was bulky. So she gave me and told me, this is from your classmates. I was like, God. I want to thank my classmates again. I want to thank my classmates again, because in that envelope were notes, like they had written notes for me, condolence notes, like telling me why it's okay, blah blah blah. And alongside that, there was like some 6,000 and something. Like there was such a huge amount of money in that envelope from my classmates. I could not believe it. Like the love was overwhelming. I was like, wow. It was mad love from my classmates. So I want to thank you all again in this very video, because the love you showed me. I like thanked them the moment nilirudi shule, but if you're watching this and you're my classmate, I really thank you so much for the love you guys showed me. And also when I went back to school, like everybody was like so empathetic. They were like, oh, we're so sorry, if you need us, we're here. Like I got all the support I could need at that very moment. And somehow I felt like my life had come to a standstill, because I couldn't imagine life. I could not imagine doing this life thing without my mom. So it was hectic because I was in Form 4, and that was the time I needed her the most. I started even questioning God, like, why did it have to be sahi nikiwa Form 4? But niliacha tu, like, nilikubali how it turned out. And I went back to school. I did my KCSE. I remember I cried, like, the very moment nilipewa my English paper 1. I broke down because nilikuwa like, hi, mom told me to get this grade. Mom told me she wanted me to take home this grade. And I did not want to disappoint her in any fucking way. So I broke down because nilikuwa nishaanza kwa tense, like, what if we don't deliver? You know, what if we don't get this? But thank God I did. Like, the very moment results zilitoka, I did not get the grade I wanted, but it was somewhere close to that. And I was so happy. Like, I felt like I made my mom proud because considering the situation I did my KCSE in, like, I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain your time. Considering all that and considering the grade that I got, I really was proud of myself because mimi hata by the honestly nilikuwa naona nitafail, like I couldn't see myself getting to the cut. Nilikuwa naona I'm failing this exam, but I did not fail. I did well, and yeah, so thank you for watching up to this point. I love you guys. It really took me a lot of courage to shoot this video. I'm probably gonna cry right after ending this video because I feel nikona I have so much pain in my heart, but it's okay. So this video, I hope it has I don't know, but it goes out to anyone battling lung cancer directly or indirectly. That is my story, and see you guys in my next video. Bye.